Think you can quad like Saquon? Film your 4-person quad squad completing Saquon's Quad Squad Quad Challenge. And you could win a personal leg day with Saquon himself.
I love that. If you want a chance to win a quad-blasting workout with Saquon Barkley for you and 3 friends, film your 4-person quad squad completing Saquon's Quad Squad Quad Challenge for a chance to win a personal leg day with Saquon himself. All the information is at NFL.com/100/contest. And I have a weird feeling at some point this week we will be doing
some sort of physical activity.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
quad goals. That's what we got.
We're totally going to hashtag
You're going to be sweating.
goals.
Well, no doubt. I already am, Mike. I am right now. Right down my side.
It's Monday. 9 teams have mandatory minicamp kicking off tomorrow. But let's break down some of the biggest storylines around the NFL with a little journalism 101.
All right.
We're talking commencement speeches. You can't get the degree unless you go to school. So here we are. Barkley, Saquon, if you will. He had high praise for the number 6 pick in the draft, guys. After seeing him on the practice field on Saturday, watch this.
Right now, oh, you're awful pick. But when he wins 2 Super Bowls, everyone's going to be like, oh, he was the greatest pick of all time. Like, that's just how life works. So, like, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. And he did a really good job of blocking out the noise already. And I think that's important to have, especially being a quarterback in New York. And when it's time comes, I think he has a bright future.
That is some serious praise from the star running back of the New York Giants. So how is the question in Journalism 101? How will hyping Daniel Jones impact the Giants going forward? What is this all about, Rob?
Well, it seems like to me, Saquon's the franchise personality, right? I mean, that's what franchise personalities do. And it seems like to me he knows it's a young quarterback, and he's trying to instill some confidence in the young guy. I don't think the kid plays this year. I think this is Eli Manning's team this year, okay? I think they're going to do enough so that Eli Manning keeps his job this year. And I think it's going to provide so many dividends for this team going forward because this guy's going to have a year, like a redshirt year, to learn. I think Saquon is doing the right thing. Yeah, man, let's big this guy up so he can have some confidence. And if he does get in the game, he can make my receptions go up more than the 91 I got last year. Let's get to 100. And I think that's what it's all about, guys.
I think it's a good one to, from public relations standpoint.
There you go.
It's not necessarily a football conversation, but I look at Pat Hanlon, who runs that department there, Corey Rush, Jen Connolly, the Giants PR staff, my man Dion, hello. This is what I would say for those guys. It only helps Daniel Jones to be built up. It's not like he's threatening Eli's job this season. The alternative is, as Saquon says, I have no comment on Daniel Jones, and that becomes a story. Or, you know what, I'm not sold on Daniel Jones yet, and that becomes a story. Talking up the quarterback, regardless of whether you believe it or not, is only good for the entire halo of the situation.
Like, what is he supposed to say?
What is he supposed to say? And also, what's the alternative? It's much worse. So I'm for it, PR-wise, 101. This is a great story. We're all celebrating Daniel Jones in June. Great.
But the fascinating development will be if we celebrate him in August. Like, what if Saquon is right? What if Daniel Jones just has it and he is really, really good? Now, I know Eli is a made guy, and it's the Eli show. But, Mike, in 2012, Russell Wilson came to Seattle, all right? Matt Flynn was the guy. They paid him the money. And now Matt Flynn is no Eli. But tell me if I'm wrong. Russ just had it. And, immediately, what if Daniel Jones just has it, is fantastic, and the players are like, this kid's good. Eli's okay. Like, is there any scenario where Daniel Jones could be that good and that natural where he actually starts to rock the boat?
Well, I think it's possible, but I mean, that Seattle and Russell Wilson, that was a different situation in my eyes, just simply because when we drafted Russell, I get a call from John Snyder like, bro, this guy's probably going to be our starter one.
Third-round pick?
Yeah, I mean, as they're about to draft him, he called all the leaders on the team. And we're like, really? We just gave the money to Matt Flynn. He's like, dude, I'm telling you, he's special. And so I'm not sure that Gettleman had that type of epiphany about Daniel Jones. Could he possibly be that? I don't know, possibly. But I think the kid should sit a year. I think he needs a redshirt year.
Let's go up to New England. Gronk keeping his responsibilities. Of course, he every year buzzes his head for childhood cancer for the Children's Hospital up there in Boston.
Got a little Freddy Krueger in the system
once
right there.
Again, which I love to see. I love to see this. Awesome. I wouldn't say it's an obligation of him being a Patriot, but it was sort of hand in hand. He's still doing that. So does this maybe mean he's not as committed?
Look at the smiles on the people's faces, man.
He said to retire. Take a listen.
Oh, man.
What's your name?
Whatever I say, it doesn't matter. It'll always be crazy out there. But
How long have you been growing out your hair?
You can put them to rest.
2 years.
Yeah, you can do it. Me to put them to rest?
How much money
I just did. By letting you put them to rest. Yes, yeah, no. I'm feeling good. Good place, and it's great to be back there.
I don't believe you,
I was about to say,
Gronkster. New England, of course, is going to have to move on without their former superstar, future Hall of Famer tight end. But when is the question? When, Kyle, will the Patriots start to miss Rob Gronkowski?
Okay, I have the exact date.
Okay.
The exact date.
What you got?
This is what it is. It is October 7th, 2019. They have just done the classic Patriots thing where they have a bad road loss early in the season. I think it's going to be at Washington, and the offense is flat, and they only score 16 points, and everyone says, they miss Gronk. We're going to do segments on it. It's going to be our A block on Monday, October 7th. Can they call Gronk? And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to call Gronk, and they're trying to win 7 of the next 8 games, and they're going to get home advantage in the playoffs, all that. That is the moment, though. I guarantee early in the Patriots season, they always have it. The offense is terrible. Like last year, they lost to Detroit. Looked terrible. They will have a bad road loss and call for Gronk, and you know what? They're not going to need him. They're not going to need him.
Nostradamus, man.
That's my man.
I agree with you, brother.
Miss Cleo, honey. Hey, honey.
I agree with you, man. October, I think, is going to be around the time they miss Gronk. I mean, you never know what this New England Patriots team is in September. They identify themselves in the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
It's training camp for them.
It's training camp for them, right? And I think Gronk doesn't want to do training camp.
Okay.
That's why he's retired right now. I think he's going to have an itch to come back in October. I mean, just come in, practice a couple days, and go play in the games and get the glory from winning games. Yes, Gronk's numbers have been down here as of late in the last couple of years, but every critical situation, they've gone to Gronk in the big games, and they're going to miss him in October. I agree with you, guys.
I'll tell you when I think they're going to miss him. I think it's going to be a little later than that. I think it's going to be January, where Gronk plays his best football. And I look at last year, AFC Championship game. Gronk hadn't done much all season as far as the big numbers.
No.
And who does Tom Brady go to at the big play? I've got Eric Berry one-on-one on Rob Gronkowski down the sideline.
Good on good.
Here we go. Let's get in that end zone and let's take this game to overtime. Okay, Super Bowl.
This is the walk-off.
We're going to be driving. Okay, we got the pick from Gilmore. The next drive, what are we going to do? Gronk.
They had ran that play 2 or 3 times in a row.
They absolutely did.
Yes.
They did, and they didn't go to him. They had James Devlin at wideout for this one. This is when they're going to miss him, because when everyone talks Edelman and Amendola and Hogan and Deion Branch, in the biggest of moments, Brady's biggest safety and biggest comfort is number 87. And I just wonder if not having him in January in those big spots, when it's AFC Championship game, Super Bowl, they're not going to miss Rob Gronkowski.
They don't miss him.
He is the biggest matchup nightmare, but I do think the new wide receiver, N'Keal Harry, is going to make up for some of that.
That's a big dude.
I think they're going to split him out 2 or 3 yards from the tackle. He's going to block outside linebackers every now and again.
Okay.
And create matchups going right down that seam, just like you saw in
N'Keal, the rookie.
I'm telling you.
He is amazing. Matchup nightmare. Last year wasn't his best year. Everybody knows that. He had less yards a game than any year since his rookie year. They won a Super Bowl in 2016 without Rob Gronkowski. They adjust better than anybody. 1 week they're a running team. Look at what they did in the Super Bowl. Then they become a defensive juggernaut when all of a sudden they can move and shift, and they're the mystique of the NFL.
Talk about it.
They're shape-shifting always. So to me, I don't think they miss him. Is that crazy?
I
don't think they miss him.
It's okay.
Are they more Romaine Stamos or J-Law Mystique, would you say, okay?
Either. Both put together.
All the above, right?
Which
I'm
is
a Romaine Stamos
crazy
guy.
thing to think about. You're which one?
Romaine Stamos.
Really?
A classic, yes.
I think Jennifer Lawrence, I think Mystique dies in this next one.
Really?
Yes, I
haven't seen it yet. Dark
I think she
Phoenix?
does. Dark
Oh, man.
Phoenix. I'm just saying. Okay, the
Sansa.
Jets. That's my big nerd energy here on a Monday. The Jets head to minicamp tomorrow without a GM. Do they need one sooner rather than...
How with those two? Big Greg and Adam Gase.
With CJ.
Adam Gase.
Our table loves DeAndre Hopkins. We've said he has the best hands in the NFL. Nate said that, but is he actually the best overall wide receiver going into 2019?
Oh, that's a